question that keeps coming up and we keep getting asked. The question is, when is the economy going to recover? Now, I feel it's important to look at the facts. The Canadian economy, it's like someone hit the pause button. Very different from the 2008 financial crisis. The 2008 crash, which originated in the US, came fast and in comparison didn't really impact Canada due to our banks having stricter regulation and the big banks controlling 93% of the market share at that time. The shock to Canada's economy is far more significant today than it was 12 years ago, and the response from all levels of government to help families and businesses also has been greater. Now we are at a halt, but eventually we're going back to work. So it's a different type of recovery. TD, HSBC, and RSM, Canada's Economic Advisory Group, are calling for a U-shaped type recovery. CD Howe Institute, Canada's most influential think tank, has studied past pandemics, and they state, more likely pattern is a sharp drop in output and a long, bumpy U-shaped recession, and the likelihood of a robust recovery once the pandemic subsides. Due to our expected pent-up consumer demand, house purchases and business investments delayed during the pandemic period. A strong recovery would be consistent with past pandemic periods. Investopedia's definition of a U-shaped recovery. A U-shaped recovery represents a shape that occurs when the economy experiences a sharp decline in economic measures such as employment, GDP, and industrial output without a clearly defined bottom, but instead a period of stagnation followed by a relatively healthy rise back to its previous peak. A U-shaped recovery is similar to a V-shaped recovery, except the economy spends a longer time slogging along the bottom of the recession rather than immediately rebounding. On a positive note, over the last several weeks we have seen buyers and sellers put their real estate transactions on hold as a result of COVID-19. This means that both home sales and new listings have declined, and this is almost in balance with sales and new listings, down by 67%, which has resulted in relatively stable prices. If prices were to fall, we typically need to see a sharp increase in supply, the amount of homes coming on the market, and not enough demand, the amount of buyers who purchase these homes, which we saw both in 2008-2009 as a result of the subprime mortgage-led financial crisis, and in 2017, the GTA real estate bubble. In both cases, it was a spike in inventory that led house prices to fall, something we're not seeing right now. However, this is probably a result of the massive amounts of stimulus the government has injected into the economy by way of curb relief and industry measures to ease financial burdens through deferral of mortgage payments. So the true impact of C-19 is not being felt. As we slowly return to normal, hopefully it will further alleviate the financial impacts. On the downside, the difference between today and that in the financial crisis is that Canadians have far more debt today. As a nation, Canadians owe $1.82, including mortgages and consumer debt like credit cards, for every dollar of disposable income we make. Higher levels of debt can hurt the housing market in a number of different ways. Secondly, approximately 20% of all mortgage borrowers have asked the banks to defer their home loan payments. This is quite a large number. Payments can only be deferred for 6 months. In the long run, if homeowners are not able to make their payments, they may be forced to sell their homes. There are profound changes happening in the mortgage industry. In recent days, banks are restricting how borrowers can use their HELOCs. Lastly, the high debt and financial stress that renters also face will cause some to struggle to pay their rent in the short term. And this will ultimately result in pressure on rents and push up vacancies. This, combined with the collapse of the Airbnb market, may further stress out investors, and we may also see a steady rise in inventory. So yes, it's a crazy wild ride right now. Everyone has been delayed and put on pause. So experts are anticipating once the pandemic restrictions are lifted and people will go back to work and still need and want to buy, that the housing market will slowly go back to normal. I'm not giving you my opinion. I'm just stating what experts are saying, and I thought it could be of service to you. Feel free to reach out to me here at the Jesse Benway team with any questions or concerns. We're always here to help.